Prince Andrew to leave the UK forever as two options open up for disgraced Duke to do a Harry. Prince Andrew is plotting to move away from the UK permanently after the latest scandal to engulf the disgraced Duke. It emerged last week that a close friend of Andrew's was an alleged Chinese spy. Yang Tengbo, said to be a close confidant of the prince, has been banned from the UK. The businessman, who was reported to have attended Andrew's 60th birthday party, was the founder partner of the Chinese arm of the Duke's Pitch at Palace initiative. He visited Buckingham Palace twice in 2018 to meet with the Duke of York, 64, and is also said to have entered St. James's Palace and Windsor Castle at Andrew's invitation. The king even faced a briefing by intelligence services about his brother's links to Mr. Yang, who also goes by the name Christopher Yang, according to reports. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Andrew is already a royal outcast due to his friendship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and has faced accusations of sexual crimes himself, something he denies. Reports on Tuesday suggested the Duke would skip the royal Christmas gathering at Sandringham, although his name remains on the guest list, leaving courtiers nervous he may yet show up. Beyond the festive season, Andrew is seemingly eyeing up a move away from the UK with two options opening up. The Daily Beast reports that the Duke is considering upping sticks to either the United Arab Emirates or the nearby island nation of Bahrain. If he did quit the UK, it would mirror the decision made by his nephew Prince Harry to leave for America in 2020. One friend said Andrew felt he had been unfairly condemned for his friendship with Yang. They said, "The whole thing stinks to high heaven. You'd think Andrew had been passing state secrets to the man." Andrew is sick and tired of being painted as a pariah in the British media and is seriously contemplating a move to the United Arab Emirates of Bahrain. None of us would blame him if he decided to do a Harry and leave. He can't do anything here anymore. He can't leave the house. He can't do any business. And now he is apparently Kim Philby. Philby was a British intelligence officer who turned out to be a double agent for the Soviet Union. Another friend said Andrew has a vast array of contacts in the Middle East, having been patron of the Middle East Association, MEA, which promotes trade with the Middle East, North Africa, Turkey, and Iran. The pal said Andrew could be leading a meaningful life there, adding, "I wouldn't be at all surprised if he thought enough was enough after this latest stick-up by the establishment." Andrew doesn't have any power. He was entirely open about Yang's involvement with Pitch at Palace. This guy was meeting prime ministers and God knows who else. And yet mysteriously it's his relationship with Andrew that matters. Come on. Prince Andrew avoids injury after losing control of horse near Royal Lodge home. Prince Andrew narrowly avoided a potentially dangerous accident near his Royal Lodge home. The disgraced prince nearly fell off his horse during a Monday morning ride through the Windsor estate as the Duke of York's black mare showed signs of distress. The horse threw its head in the air and thrashed around, appearing to catch the Duke by surprise and knock him off balance, leaving him clinging to the reins, reports GB News. After a jittery few minutes spent grappling with the mare, the king's brother, a skilled horseman, calmed the frightened animal by leaning back and stabilizing himself. Prince Andrew, who wore a black riding helmet and khaki rainproof jacket, was then able to continue on his way. Andrew has been keeping a low profile amid his bitter feud with King Charles over Royal Lodge. He has been told by the king to leave Royal Lodge and move into more affordable accommodation. Charles suggested Andrew downsize to Frogmore Cottage, the former home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Like the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Andrew lost his right to taxpayer-funded security after being stripped of his royal duties. Earlier this month, the Duke was told his reported £1 million a year allowance would also be withdrawn. An updated biography by royal commentator Robert Hardman alleged the monarch instructed his keeper of the privy purse to sever Andrew's annual personal allowance. He relied on the allowance to fund his living expenses and security team. However, the Duke has since convinced palace authorities to let him stay as he is able to cover the costs himself, according to reports in the Times. Andrew has proved that he has sufficient funds from legitimate sources to support himself, though it has not been confirmed where the money has come from. Prince Andrew teaches granddaughter Sienna, 3, to horse ride on Windsor estate. The Duke of York was joined by his granddaughter Sienna for his morning horse ride in Windsor on Tuesday. Princess Beatrice and Edoardo Mapelli Mozz's daughter, 3, was wrapped up warm against the November chill as she was guided on a pony around the paddock. The tot appears to be following in the footsteps of her family members, including her grandmother, Sarah, Duchess of York, who learnt how to ride a horse from a young age. Even the most confident of riders can come unstuck on occasion, as Andrew, 62, almost took a tumble from his horse when it began to trot vigorously. But the Duke quickly regained composure without falling as the animal settled during its morning walk. Andrew and Sarah reside at nearby Royal Lodge, and despite calls from his brother, the King, to downsize amid the rising renovations for the Grade 2 listed property, the Duke has reportedly found the means to cover the costs himself. Citing a source, author Robert Hardman revealed in an updated version of his biography, Charles III, New King, New Court. The inside story, the Duke is no longer a financial burden on the King, confirms one familiar with the situation. He claims to have found other sources of income related to his contacts in international trade, sufficient to cover all his costs, which would be a welcome outcome for all parties if that turns out to be the case. But as to whether this funding can be relied upon in the long term is another matter. Robert also shared why Andrew is determined to remain living at Royal Lodge on the latest episode of Hello, S.A. Right Royal podcast. Meanwhile, little Sienna is set to become a big sister next year as her mother Beatrice is currently pregnant with her second child. The baby is due in early spring, with Buckingham Palace confirming the happy news in October. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.